Because if you've ever had a steroids, if you ever taken any type of steroids or cortisone or prednisone, man, you feel like $1,000,000 right after you get that. You know, when you're older, Sarah, and you've got body aches.
I have some body aches. I mean, I'm young, but I got.
Well, you know, yeah. But no, you do feel good. So yeah, so I covered. We're going to do more about Trump with a friend of mine who currently has COVID, and she's like a lunatic right now. So we're going to record with her. I did my Facebook jail, popped in a little Netflix. So let's go straight to Sarah uplifting me before I'm dying inside slowly.
Uplifting you. I'll do my best. I kind of just wanted to introduce a bit of like the background of like how I started my business and what it's about.
Absolutely.
Is that cool?
Absolutely. Okay. Let's start. Let's do a quick shout out to your Instagram real quick, and then we'll do it again after.
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram as @Zoobz, SZUBZZZ _. And it is a digital nomad coaching business. So basically, to give some backstory, Cindy's been on the sidelines seeing it all happen since day one. But when I finished college or university, I tried to do the whole 9-to-5 thing and really tried to get in with what society was kind of expecting me to do. And yeah, just kind of kept my head under the radar and wasn't treated well by my boss. He was a misogynistic asshole. And
yes, and you did. I know you did. Right.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough, Sarah, being your age and having to deal with that shit. And I remember when you were working there and you were like, I can't, it's too much, you know?
Yeah.
And
in any age though, too, right?
Yeah, I do. But when you're older, you really need the money. So a lot of females put up with that bullshit because they have to. Yeah. Or that's just what they've been used to, right, Jen? It's just part of the job, you know? And that's the one thing about, you know, I mean, I'm going to call you a millennial, even though you are a millennial, right, Sarah? I would say you're cusping right in there, but it's you young people that are going to change the world. And I have nothing but faith in all of you. And I know that when you can't handle, you know what I mean? You were going to not stand for it. And you were living with your parents. It's not like you needed to have that job. You know what? You were fine to say, go fuck yourself. Yeah. So, and that's why you guys you're going to make changes. And I'm, you know, very excited for our future.
Yeah, I think it is exciting too. And I think also, I mean, I want to talk more about my business, but also to relate it to like politics and everything else. Like, it's crazy to see the boundaries that people are forming with things in conversations and racism and everything, so that they are actually using their voice and speaking up, rather than, you know, I felt like growing up, if I ever heard a racist joke, I was kind of taught to not make waves, right? Like, you don't want to really call someone out, especially in public, or, you know, you don't want to make issues. But I think that our generation is kind of putting that to the side. And it's just like, listen, we're not here for it. We're changing things, whether or not you're with us or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I respect that a lot.
Yep. And that's why I, like I say, you know, our younger generation is the ones that are going to change the world. And that's what we have to count on. So. But yes, so you didn't want to conform.
So yeah, didn't want to conform. Basically, I mean, a little hint of recklessness, but I was demoted and because I stood up for myself in the office. Like, hit my bottom, was like, okay, can't be kept small anymore, or talked to in this way. You know, it was embarrassing. It was humiliating. I felt like my character was just not the same as like who I am. You know, I'm very passionate. I'm very bold. I'm myself. And I wasn't that during that time. And so,
but you've worked for me for many years, and let's say it, you're a great worker besides.
Thank you.
So, you know what? It's no slight against you. It was obviously just someone being an a-hole like you.
Oh yeah.
I know you're, how you work, and I know that you are not a slacker by any means. So
thank you. Yeah. No, and I mean, that's the thing, is like, it was this man who would even just get on his soapbox during meetings and talk about Trump, you know, like it's just totally not right as far as work culture and everything, how you treat your employees, how you handle your business, all of that. So yeah, I kind of just, I left without a 2 weeks notice. It felt great. I blasted some Gwen Stefani's Sweet Escape on my way out, got some thumbs up. And I booked a one-way flight to Mexico. And that was kind of the start for everything for me, as far as like taking chances, getting out of my comfort zone, because I felt like I was in this bubble of trying to like follow expectations, some that were just like society, like telling, you know, a lot of us to go to school, you know, get the corporate job, work your way up the ladder, get married, have the kids, white picket fence, you know, all of that, just a very set path. And I was just not, it just didn't feel like what was there for me. You know, I wanted something more, and I was always big into travel and wanted to go back to that. So I just decided to just go for it, and that was the best decision that I've ever made. So that was really.
Sarah's been traveling while the before this COVID thing hit. Yeah. Actually, you came home prior to this COVID. Your plans were to come home, right, and then take a break, like the week and then go back basically. Out.
That's crazy timing.
It was like I had a flight back from Colombia. So I basically traveled from Mexico down to Colombia through Central America. And I had a flight booked because my sister was supposed to be getting married. And I was like, well, I have to be the good maid of honor, you know, come plan all the things and be there. Yeah. And so, I booked the flight, and it was literally like the week after or something that things were closing and it became real. And
crazy time.
I had some friends get stuck in other countries, and you know, I was just
a lot of friends sort of like the same sort of age as you, and I was just like, school isn't for me, all this, and I got a job on a cruise ship.
Yes.
And same thing traveling. Like I told my friends, like, I'll be gone for 6 months, it's a contract, I'll come back, I'll go to university, and I was gone for 6 years. And I still have a lot of friends that did it, and some of them got home on time. One of them was going to join a ship in Australia from Canada, and they shut down right before us. And like, she literally got to the airport in Australia, and they're like, turn around, get on a plane, go home. You're not allowed in.
Wow.
Like it was, and she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm joining a ship. Like, just get me to the boat. And they're like, no, you're on a plane. You're going right back home. Like, crazy. And then I had friends that like 2 and 3 months were stuck on boats, like, because nobody was letting them dock anywhere to get off. Like, they got all the passengers off, but nobody was looking at the crew. And all these countries were like, we're not dropping 2,000 people here. Sorry, we're not doing it. Yeah. And they were literally just like docked out in the middle of the ocean, like dozens and dozens of ships. Like, it was crazy looking at their pictures. Like, these people were just stuck out there because nobody was letting them in anywhere.
Yeah. And you also think about supplies and stuff too. Like, there's so much more that comes with that. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so scary. But so I made it back just in time. Like, I'm very grateful for that. And I mean, even though I was only planning on coming home for a few months and then like leaving again to travel more, I am very thankful that I had this time to.
All right, we're back. We had a momentarily bleep.
Technical difficulty.
Little technical difficulty. So go ahead, Sarah. Now you are traveling, and another thing is you have been studying Spanish, right?
Yeah, so
that helped you a lot. Obviously.
That helped with my travels a lot. Yes. And that just is like, you know, cultural immersion too. You know, when I'm traveling, it's not like I just want to be like, the beaches are great, but I'm also in these other countries because I do want to learn more about the cultures and meet people that are experiencing life differently than what I'm used to at home.
Right. And I'm going to just put this out there that every time Sarah was traveling, I was secretly having a meltdown like I was her mother, going, what if she gets near the drug cartel? They're so crazy there. I was like freaking out. Okay.
Yeah, I would get messages from Cindy and be like, come home already.
I go, get home. I'm getting you a plane ticket. Get back here right now.
Yep, I ignored. I'm sorry.
I know, but sorry, actually. It is scary because so many parts are, I mean, it can be very scary there, you know, but I trusted that you knew enough where to go and not to go.
Absolutely. And that's like, you know, there are scary parts in every country all around the world. You know, we're looking at the US right now. It's not like it's the safest place to be for Black and brown people. So, but yeah, as you know, a white woman, I definitely had to be careful about being out by myself, and just like, it's really common sense when it comes down to it, but you do meet other women who are doing similar things, and it's becoming more and more common that it's not like a huge flag above my head when I'm there by myself, because it's like they're seeing more of that. You know, they're seeing more gringas, like these solo women, white women that are just walking around by themselves or exploring, traveling. So it definitely became more of the norm. And like through that, that's kind of where my business started, was because I was meeting these women who had quit their job and were dreading going back. And I was actually picking up jobs along the way, doing different marketing gigs, social media. I worked for a travel agency doing some like blog writing. So I was doing a lot of different like small jobs that were all online.
You worked in a lot of hostels too for a while, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
so I was doing a lot of
room and board, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good. Those trades were awesome. I saved so much money.
Exactly.
There's so many options when you do have skills that transfer online to work and just be able to travel more freely. So that's kind of where my business stemmed from, was that a lot of women just didn't know how to start that process and like figure out how their skills transferred to the online world so that they could travel more and it not only be just a job, but something that they're excited about and that they feel passionate about.
Right. And right now with everything that's going on with COVID, if it wasn't, you know, with a lot of people are obviously working from home now, a lot more people will be able to well, but now with COVID, I guess it's like you kind of can't really win, but
yeah, I mean, I think
could work from wherever, but this is
right.
A lot of the upstate New York, it's property has just gone mad because people that are living in the city are like, I don't have to pay $7,000 for rent right now. If I'm stuck working here from home for the next year, I'm moving upstate where I don't have to, you know. So
absolutely,
you really have you can move around. And I believe that a lot of these places, brick and mortar, they're not going to go back because a lot of these companies are saving so much money. I think COVID
scared a lot of people, but also was like this nice friendly reminder that like maybe life is short and they should go and do things that they really want to do, like when it's safe to do so, you know, and have something that offers a little bit more flexibility. Because a lot of people look and they're like, well, there's so much that I want to do. There's so many places I want to go, and my job doesn't allow me to do that. And I also hate my job. So if you're going to do it, you might as well love it. Right?
Exactly. And my kids, my one daughter talking about moving to Colorado, and I'm like, just go. If you hate it, you can come back. I mean, I don't imagine you're going to, it's just a couple years, just,
Right.
That was my thing always. Home is always here. Go out, experience, do it all. You can always come home.
Yep.
Yeah, because when you get older, it's obviously a lot tougher just to do that when you've got to, pay bills. And you know what? You're going to end up, hopefully not, but doing a job that you really don't like sometimes, It is what it is. You got to pay the bills, and you're not going to ever be 25 again, and you have the ability to travel. And I say, do it while you're young.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like we're all of us here are multi-passionate, and Cindy, I know you've always had a lot of different like side gigs, side hustles, and I'm all there for that. Like right now, I have like 3 jobs, and that's fine. I'm still doing things that I enjoy.
Right. But yeah, so really quickly though, you teach American English, right?
Yeah, I teach English to kids in China. Yep.
China, okay.
Yep. And more specifically China.
Mostly, okay. So, I don't know how much have you really learned, but I had always heard that, people in China that are wealthy, that if their kids learn English, it's like huge.
Yeah.
Right? Is that why they're...
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have hopes for their kids to go to these really established universities. I mean, much like a lot of upper class American families who want their kids to go to these huge universities as well, right?
Like the Ivy League type of
schools. It's like, any upper class American family who gets their kids multiple tutors outside of school, so it's like they have homework after their homework kind of thing.
Okay, right.
There's that in China, there's that everywhere, but yeah, in China it's definitely emphasized on English because they know that is a huge, that's a huge advantage when it comes to like entering the working world, especially if they're in like the STEM kind of industry.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but I had known that because the online tutoring thing has just gotten very